Flosstube friends, it's Sherry, Colorado Cross Stitcher on YouTube and also on Instagram. And my channel is about cross stitching. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. And if you're returning, welcome back. I so appreciate all of you who watch this and leave the thumbs up and leave comments. I love reading the comments and chatting with you guys in the comment section. So thank you so much for doing that. I wanted to start with talking about our question of the day, which I do on each video, just kind of for fun. And our question of the day last time was, how many active projects do you have going on during the month? And it's not whips, it's not how many whips, but how many that you actually put some stitches in on a regular basis. And so the most common response was 2 to 3 a month, which is probably where I fall, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. The second most common was 4 to 5. And then the next most common answer was 1 project a month. And then last was 6+. But I was amazed at how many of you work on 6+ projects a month. That's incredible. I think my mind would get dizzy with that. But anyways, it was fun to read your responses and kind of see where you fall on that scale. So that was fun. But I did have some comments that I wanted to bring up in the video. Laura commented, and I found this to be so true. She said back in the 80s and 90s, when a lot of us started stitching, it wasn't common to work on several projects a month. And I really think that was true for me. I remember I had a stash, remember my $5, 5 books story a couple of floss tubes ago. So I had a stash, but I didn't even think about working on more than 1 project at once. I was working on one and then I finished it and then I would start another. So that's really true. So how about you? If you stitched back then, were you a 1 project, 1, do it, finish it, and then move on to the next? Or were some of you doing multiple projects back then and I just that never occurred to me. So I thought that was an interesting comment. So let me know if you were a stitcher in the 80s and 90s and did multiples, you were way ahead of your time, or you were way ahead of my time. Joanne suggested designating 1 day a week for whips, and I thought that was a great idea. Whips is works in progress, and maybe not active whips, but ones that maybe have languished in your stash for a little while. And so I thought that was, and maybe you guys do that, because I feel like Whip Wednesday is a thing. Not a thing that I do, but I kind of feel like it's a thing. So Eloise has 1 project that she works on Sundays, and I liked that idea too. And I'm getting ready to start a church sampler, which I'm going to show you in a little bit. And so I thought that was a neat idea, kind of a Sunday project. I don't really want to have like each day of the week. I know some of you guys do that. Each day of the week is designated for a different project, but I kind of get working on my project and I want to do 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 days on it. I don't want to have to work one evening and then put it away and then wait for a whole nother week to work on it. So in my head, I like to work on projects however long I want to work on them. But I did like the idea of a Sunday project. Remember the mittens pattern that I showed you guys last time from the magazine? Well, Neela said that her mom stitched that same pattern 4 times. 3 times for each of her kids and 1 for herself. So I thought that was fun. And then the quilt pattern magazine that I showed you, Regina said that I don't remember if she said she did them and had them in a bowl, or it would be a cute idea to put them in a bowl, but I had not thought of that, making them into individual pin cushions, and I love that idea too. So let's see, Julie talked about having when she was answering the question on how many projects do you work on actively, she was talking about how she has a lot of projects on her immediate radar, which made me start thinking, like, how many projects should you have on your immediate radar? And how many is too many to go under the word immediate? Because immediate seems like pretty quick. I'm afraid that I'm tipping the scale on how many things I have on my immediate radar. So if you kind of do that in your own mind, tell me how many is too many to have on your immediate radar. I might have to share my immediate radar pieces the next time. I think I'm over the edge, like I said. And then it was fun to hear from Jan, who worked at my very favorite L&S, Jean's Corner, back in the day. I think 80s and 90s. And Jan, I don't remember if you worked there in the 80s also, but I think there were just two of you who worked there, right? Jan and Sherry, maybe? And anyways, it was fun to have a comment from her, and it just made me realize this cross-stitching world is such a small world. So that was very fun. Okay, well, I'm going to show you some progress. I have progress on 3 kind of big projects. Well, one's kind of small, but the other 2 are kind of big. So I want to share that with you. The first one is I started Button Up by Prairie Schooler. And this was so fun to do. I'm doing it on a blue fabric, 30 count Murano Wedgwood. And here's my progress. And I'm doing 2 threads over 2 threads, 2 threads of floss over 2 threads on the fabric. So it's basically coming out to be 15 count. I did change the little saying up in the corner. Otherwise, I'm doing everything as it's called for, and I'm using the called for threads, except I changed the blue color so it would match the blue of my fabric a little bit better. So on the pattern, it says, button up to the chin till May comes in, winter. And so I changed it to say, button up to the chin, watch the snow day fun begin. So that's my progress, and then I just have the 3 more squares at the bottom. It's really fun to stitch, and it really made me want to buy some more Prairie Schooler patterns, because it's just, I don't know, I like the blocks of color are just cheerful and fun, and it's simplified designs but really striking, almost folk art kind of a look. And so that one was really fun to do, and I'm really going to be happy to get back to that. And then I started on the Feast of Friendship, Blackbird. I know a lot of people are doing this right now, and it's got beautiful, beautiful colors going on there. So I started that, and what I'm most excited about doing is the teal house. So I did the basket of fruit so that I have the teal house to look forward to. And I think that I'm going to do Peace and Plenty in that rectangular box below. On the pattern, it says Feast of Friendship, which is the name of the pattern, which is also lovely. But I really like the saying Peace and Plenty, so I think I'm going to do that. And I'm excited that I get to do the teal house. And when I do the teal house, I'm going to just use 1 color of teal blue, I think. The pattern calls for 3 different colors, but I think I'm just going to make it 1 color. Okay, and then I started my really fun one that I was so excited about. And that is the G Leger. And this is so, you know what's so fun about it is it's not my style at all. It's flowery and curlicues, and that's just not, you can see from our furniture in our house, we're Mission Oak furniture, which is plain, solid furniture. I mean, we love it, but I'm just not a curlicue kind of fancy person. And this to me is a fancy sampler, but you know how you kind of get to know a sampler maker when you do their pattern, don't you feel like? I feel like I'm getting to know this girl a little bit. Now it says G Leger in 1 corner, and then it says Annie down here. And so I don't know what the story is behind that, if G Leger is who did the sampler or Annie. And I'm going to just tell you I think it was Annie, because the more I work on the sampler, the more I see her quirkiness in this piece. But first of all, I made a copy. I'm just going to show you this, not the copy of the chart itself, but how big it is. I made a copy, a working copy. I'm going to show you the back. Look how big this pattern is. It's huge. Huge. So I'm working off of that because you have a lot of pages where you know, it's overlapped here and it's overlapped top to bottom, and I tried to do it without making a pattern, a copy of the pattern. I couldn't do it. So anyways, I want to show you my progress, and then I want to tell you why I think Annie is the maker of this. So here's where I'm at. I start almost all of my projects in the middle. And so I started on the letters and did a whole row of letters, and then worked on the pear. And then I went over and worked on the, which I believe is the Eiffel Tower. Okay, but here's some of the fun quirkiness of this girl. First of all, the way she fills in this cross right here. Do you remember, and maybe you didn't do this, but I did, when you were in junior high and you were doodling in your notebook and you took one color of marker and you drew a line around something, and then you picked a new color and you drew just inside that line, and then maybe a third color, and you know, just kind of got into making colors like that. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one that did that. But that's what she did with this cross, and it just made me think, she was just having fun playing with colors, you know, outlining and then doing one inside and then doing another one inside. And then I thought it was funny over here, if this is the Eiffel Tower, how the top of it is tipped over and there's a little red, white, and blue line on there, which I thought was hilarious. And so I don't know, doing some of these different icons and seeing how she decided on colors, I just feel like she has a little sense of whimsy, which is kind of fun to work on her sampler that way. So I still have a lot of stuff to go, but I am really looking forward to doing this house, red house on there. See the red house in the middle? Really looking forward to that. And the yellow apple. And I love, look at the floss colors in those leaves on the pear. Isn't that gorgeous? So I am using, let's see, this is 36 count platinum. I don't know from who because the label just said 36 count platinum. And I'm using the silk conversion. Oh, silk conversion. The silks are so fun, really, to use. They don't get knotted up as much as the regular flosses. They're just so slick. I just love using flosses. But I'm using the silk conversion from the Attic. So if you're interested in that, contact Jean and Carol and Carolyn and all the lovely gals at the Attic to get their conversion, and they send it to you in a nice page protector with all of the symbols labeled. And so that one has been really fun to work on, and like I said, totally different from anything I've ever done, and I'm just having so much fun with it. Really, really enjoying it. So that's my progress on the things that I've been working on since I last talked to you. All right, and then I have a few finishes to show you. The first one is, and I finished this a while back, I went to the Silver Needle retreat last November with my friend Janice and met my friend Meredith. And this is one of the projects that Kitten Stitcher, who was the designer there, shared with us. And so it's not a pattern, it was just kind of, well, it is a pattern, but it's not something that's out, it was just something she put together. And I can't remember what that stitch was. What is the stitch when you, I looked at it under my magnifier last night trying to figure out what this is, because I think what I did was a cross stitch, and then I think I went from the middle of the stitch here, and the middle to here, and the middle to here, and middle to middle here. Does that make any sense? What is that stitch? There's got to be a name for it. And I tried to find the pattern, and I think it was just a handout, and I don't know that I saved the pattern. Anyway, it was kind of fun to do, fun colors. I love how it turned out. So that one was fun. I finished it last year, but I fully finished it this week. And then here's another one that I finished a while back, but fully finished this week. And this is from the trilogy, Happy, Thankful Day. And when I first got back into cross stitching, I was going to do, I shared this before, the Houses of Hawk Run Hollow, the Villages of Hawk Run Hollow, and then a bunch of pin cushions for dough bowls. And that's all I was going to do. So for a time, I was collecting a lot of small patterns for the different holidays. So this was one of those collection pieces for my fall. So, and I just wanted a bunch of real simple ones that were going to be quick to do. And so that one was fun, but I just fully finished that this week, so I can put that out for Thanksgiving. And then this one is by Roveris. They have some really fun patterns. I really like some of the things I've seen from them. And so again, I finished that before, but I put the pom-pom trim on it this week. And I tried gluing the pom-pom. I think it worked okay, but I've got little strings, little glue strings. You know, if you take a hair dryer, I learned this a long time ago, hair dryer, and give it a shot of hot air from your blow dryer, it will melt all those little strings and they just disappear, but I haven't done that yet. All right, and then I also fully finished this one. Remember last time I said I had to stop because you've got 2 over 1 alphabets in this, and I don't mind over 1. I think it kind of looks cool, but 2 about did me in. All right, so here's my finish of it. And the board comes from I think it's Homestead Needleworke on Etsy. She's got beautiful boards. And she had one just for this particular pattern. This board was for the 32 and 36 count, and now I wish I would have done it on 36 count because it's a little big for the board. I did it on the 32 count, but I think it's okay. And what I did was I cut, actually my husband cuts for me, the foam board, and then I measure my piece out and I remove 1 thread along the pin line. So if I stretch it over a foam board, I look at what thread lines up across the top, the bottom, and each side, and I pull that out of the material. And that way I can line that up perfectly and pin it all across the top and all across each side, so I know that it's even and it's not tilted or wonky. But then I have, and I use stainless steel pins, so of course I don't want them to rust in my fabric, but then you have the pins showing. So what I did is I took baker's twine, because I couldn't do anything very thick. I couldn't do pom-poms or chenille because this was so big already on the board. So I took the baker's twine and I braided it, and then I just hot glued it around the edge to cover up those little pins. And then I had leftover braid, so I just put a little bow on top. So I love how it turned out, and I love that it was so easy to finish by getting one of those beautiful boards from Homestead Needleworks, and I'll link all that below so that you can go visit her and get one for yourself if you want. All right, so those were my finishes. Let me look at my list here. What's next? Oh, oldie but goodie. All right, did any of you ever buy Cinnamon Heart Needleworks patterns? I loved their patterns. Cinnamon Heart Needlework, and then there was another company that was reminding me of the Needle Love company. I loved Needle Love company too. Anyway, so I thought I would show you this old finish matted, back when I was matting things. But I decided, or I realized it was the first sampler I did. I didn't think I was into samplers back then, but I loved this one, so obviously I did this, and I still love it. I'm gonna put that on my someday to be sampler wall. So that's my oldie but goodie today. And I took five 5 things in to be framed this week to my LNS. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to get them back. 5 things. The sad thing is I've got more to take in, so probably when I go pick them up, I'm probably going to take more in. But I'm really excited to be moving forward on the finishing. You know, I shared in my first video, I am not good at finishing. I have a lot of projects that I've done, and I look through that bin and I think, oh, I loved that one, and oh, I loved this one. You know, it's honoring to your time to finish your projects, and I'm trying to be better about that because I know I'm going to enjoy them so much more if they're out on display somewhere rather than just tucked in a bin full of finished things. So I'm really excited to get that back. I thought I would share with you some fall patterns that I may start. I don't know. You know, Thanksgiving is next week. It's probably too late to start these, but some of them are really fun. I love Thomas from Not Forgotten Farms. I think he's the cutest turkey. Love him. So I want to do him. I bought this, The Gobbler Rides Again, at what is that, St. Charles Needlework Galleria. Last year I went. And so that was fun because I thought that would be a fun pincushion in my fall dough bowl. Dear friends, this was no, it wasn't a kit. I think I just bought this one when I was at the Silver Needle one time. I've been to 2 retreats at the Silver Needle. So that's a fun one. I love the colors of those leaves. Heartstring Samplery, again, I love all of these pincushions. I think I decided last year when I was at Needlework Galleria that I had a lot of like fall Halloween kinds of pillows for my dough bowl, but not so many for Thanksgiving. So I was trying to stock up on that. This one was a kit, must have been Silver Needle kit. Again, a Plum Street. And I think this one's out right now too. But look at the gorgeous colors in that. That's what's going to entice me to do that because the colors are so pretty. And it's all kitted up, ready to go. Why not do that? This one I love. I think I'm going to do this, the littles in this one, just for some different pin cushions. Prairie Schooler. I love that owl. I love the pumpkin. Well, they're all cute. Here's another one that I've been wanting to do for a long time, Give Thanks by Blackbird. Just a small round. Have you seen those tins at Hobby Lobby? Hobby Lobby has little tins on a pedestal. They're usually over in the holiday decorations. And I keep wanting to buy one because they're so cute, but I don't know what I'd put on it. This would be cute to put on it. And you could just figure out what size fabric you need to do to make it work. So I think next time I'm there, I'm going to pick one of those up. And then this one, I love the top scene, and I love that turkey on the bottom. I think I would do the turkey just on its own. Again, because I have too many Halloween and not enough Thanksgiving. So I want to work on that. And then I want to show you this, even though it's a Christmas one, and I'll probably show Christmas patterns on my next floss tube, but just in case you want to have time to get this, and I checked and it is available on Amazon. This is the cutest book, The Magic of Christmas in cross stitch. And it's just adorable. It's got all these little scenes that could be ornaments. Oh, I think it's flashing, sorry. That could be ornaments. It's got a cute Christmas ABC. That is not the chart, right? No. But just a lot of, let's see, can you see some of these? If I set it down here. Just a lot of really cute ornaments in here. It's got some back stitching, which I know some of you don't like. I don't mind back stitching so much, but it's just got the cutest little vignettes, I think. Look at this one. Look at the 2 little mice under the mushroom. Toadstool. What's the difference between a mushroom and a toadstool? I'm going to look that up. Anyway, The Magic of Christmas. It's a really fun little book. All right, haul. Well, I have haul. First of all, last time I showed you a copy. I didn't realize it was a copy. It's a 12 by 18 pattern called the House of the Lord Sampler. And I've had that in my stash forever. And because it's oversized, I assumed I bought it at the cross stitch store like that. But apparently I did not. And so I have no clue where I got a copy of a pattern. But we all know you're not supposed to copy patterns. So a couple of you told me what the name of the pattern was. So I went on eBay and I bought the pattern. House of the Lord Sampler. So now I have an official copy. I threw my Xeroxed copy away, and I am looking forward to doing this. I think that's going to be a beautiful sampler. Now, to me, it has really 80s, 90s kinds of colors in this. So I'm going to work on figuring out different colors to kind of update it a little bit. And same with the patterns and the borders. I might do that a little bit differently just to give it a more updated look. But I'm really looking forward to doing that one. And thank you to those of you who told me the name of it so I could find it and purchase an official copy of it. Okay, well, I ordered from the attic again. And not only did I do that, but did I or did I not say that it would maybe be a fun idea to have one project with silks a year? One. Well, I ordered silks again. I ordered the Smith sampler, which is one that I have had on my radar for a long time. And what I like about this pattern is I just like the symmetry in the whole thing. It doesn't have an alphabet, so that's kind of fun. But I don't know what it is about this. But every time I see it, it's this one and the Mary Bars sampler is the other one that I have, every time I've seen it over the last 2 years, I keep looking at it thinking, oh, I really like that. So I haven't bought Mary Bars yet, but I did buy the Smith sampler. And I did buy the silks to go with it. Because again, silks from the attic come on a really pretty little colored ring, and they label it with a tag. And aren't those going to be pretty? And then I was talking to, I think Carol, it was Carol at the attic. I called and I was telling her about why I need fabric to go with this, and they didn't have the called for fabric, which is fine. I don't have to have the called for at all. But I said, well, I like a fabric like that is a little tan, like a tan fabric, but not a yellow tan and not a pink tan, and I don't like it too mottled, but anything you pick out is great with those parameters. And so she sent me Vintage Metal Rue, which from Lakeside, which is going to be my new favorite. I mean, she could not have picked a more perfect fabric for me. I love that. And it's 40 count. Vintage Metal Rue. So I need to call and have another half yard of this scent just to keep in my stash, because you know I want to work on a fabric stash. So I'm really excited to do that, and because patterns can't travel alone, I had to order 2 other ones. The Peace and Goodwill sampler, and I don't remember who just did this, but I saw it and thought it was gorgeous. Well, I'm looking at the specialty stitch on the back, wondering if that was the stitch I was trying to remember, but it's not. So Peace and Goodwill, and then the new Blackbird Early Christmas Morning, which if I do this as that drum, I'm going to have to send that off and have somebody do that for me, because I know I can't make a drum. I really don't like finishing, but I love having finished projects. So I do it. I do it because I floss tube. And you remember, like on my very first floss tube, I said I wanted to start a floss tube to meet new stitching friends and to motivate me to finish things. And it's been so fun to, number one, meet so many of you guys, but also number two, to be prompted to finish things. I don't enjoy the finishing part, but I love having the finished things. So thank you for helping me do that. All right, so that's my haul. Oh, I was going to tell you, one of the reasons I I justified the Smith sampler purchase with silks is we finished a big project at work. Remember, I have a yarn shop called the Loopy U. I always link to it in the notes because I know there are a lot of knitters out there. And we did an advent calendar, which we do every year, but what that involves is having 12 different little gifts that are all wrapped up and numbered so that the people who buy it get it, and then they can open one package a day for 12 days. Well, I can't even tell you how many little packages we wrapped up in the cutest little red with white polka dot bags. It was adorable. I would love to have gotten that in the mail myself. But it was a lot of work. So this was my reward for getting all of that month's worth of work done. And, you know, they say don't use food for rewards. So, you know, it's not like I was going to go out and eat chocolate, but cross-stitching supplies, that is a great reward. So think about that if you need reasons to purchase something in the future or reward yourself. Cross-stitch supplies are a good thing. All right, prize winner from last time. And remember, last time was my celebration of my 5,000 subscribers, and I got a $50 gift certificate from the attic, and thank you to the attic for being so wonderful to work with on things like this. They sent me this nice little envelope with the gift certificate, and it is going to Diane Obelman. Diane, congratulations. You get to spend $50 at the attic. So email me. I'll put my email in the box below, and I will send this off to you, and you can have fun spending it. Also, I was going to show you my clipboard because I had this clip to it so I won't lose it. But this I got at, I don't remember where I saw this idea, but I wanted it for going to retreats, because I like to put my pattern on here and then I sit it into a little wooden slot on the table when I'm at a retreat. So I just bought a clipboard at Staples. I think it was like $2, and then I used some of my scrapbooking papers on the front and the back and Mod Podge, and it was super fun to do and super easy to do. You do have to sand it, and you know, it gets a little, it's not a professional job, but it's fun. So there's an idea for you. Now I'm going to clip this back to here so I do not lose this gift certificate before Diane gets a hold of me. Okay, I do have 2 pass the stash kinds of things for next time, and so you can leave a comment below if you're interested in either one. Now, so when we moved out of here, remember I said that I sold a lot of my stash, and I was so sad when I got back into cross-stitching, thinking some of the pattern books that I sold. And when I was at my LNS, probably a year and a half ago, she had a bunch of old books and patterns from somebody's estate, I guess. I don't know, but I went through all of them thinking maybe I can find some of my old books. And so these are 2 that I got, and I think they were only $1 each, but it turns out I did still have both of these in my stash. So this one, Stars of the North, is the one that I showed you last time in my oldies but goodies, this little bear. But there are a lot of really cute patterns in this one. So this is one that I have that I'm giving away because I'm keeping my copy, and you can have the copy that I bought. And let's use the word stars if you're interested in this one in your comment. Stars. And then the other one is this one, Season of Sandcastles. And I don't think I ever made anything out of this, but aren't these really cute for a little kid's room, little nursery? I still think these are adorable. So if you are interested in, look here, if you're interested in this one, use the word season. So we have season if you'd like to be entered for this, and stars if you'd, yeah, stars plural if you'd like this one. So leave a comment below for those. Okay, question of the day this time. when do you put up your holiday decorations? I'm really curious about this. We've never put ours up before Thanksgiving, and I don't know, it just doesn't seem right to have Christmas up before we've even celebrated Thanksgiving. And you know what? This year I'm all about at least getting lights up. And I think I'm not alone. When I was driving home tonight, I have about a 10-minute drive from work to my house, and I counted 27 houses that had Christmas lights up outside or Christmas tree lights inside windows that I could see. And it just made me happy. I think 2020 has just done me in. So I am ready for the lights. And we actually put our Christmas tree up yesterday, which is just amazing to me. So early. No ornaments or anything, but it's so fun to have the lights on and the tree up. So when do you put your Christmas decorations up if you decorate for Christmas or the holidays? So leave that comment below. All right, plans. Plans for next time. I am going to finish Button Up, the little snow day one. And then 3 houses are in my plans. I want to do the red house on Gilles Leger, start it. I want to start the teal house on Feast of Friendship. And I want to start the pink house on Winter Rose Manor, which I got this at the Shepherd's Bush retreat 2 years ago, and it is out now. I know a lot of you guys are doing it. And so I got it with this darker fabric, which is going to look great because I know sometimes some of you are having a hard time making that pink house show up. And look how cute that is. Brenda does such a nice job when you take a class from her. It all came in a cute little box. So I would like to do 3 houses, the red house on Gilles Leger, the teal house on Feast of Friendship, and the pink house on Winter Rose Manor. So those are my projects. And then maybe I'll start that turkey. That's so cute. I'm thinking about that. All right, on my next floss tube, I want to talk about retreats, and I have an idea that I think all of us should do, which would be super fun. So I'm going to talk about that. I have more haul because I actually already bought it. I bought some at my LNS yesterday when I was there, and then I ordered some from overseas. So I will have that. Maybe I'll have my framed pieces back by the next one. And I think I'm going to share my immediate radar list because now I'm thinking about that. Like, how many do I have? And I know that it's too many. So remember to answer that question too, because I really want to know how many you have on your immediate radar, and I'm going to share mine the next time. All right, thanks so much for watching. I look forward to having you come back the next time and seeing you again. Bye, everybody.